Hello everyone, this is Leah. First there were 2 on the wall, and then there was 1. Poor little thing couldn't stand the weight of all that dust. Anyway, it was time to update the pictures in my kitchen, so I thought I would use these for a Valentine craft, a DIY, a trash to treasure. This is just some of my crafting supplies that I've got laid out as I'm trying to get ideas of what I want to do with these frames. My creativity kind of takes its own course once I start, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do at this point. Stick around and see what happens. Today's video is a Trash to Treasure challenge. This challenge is hosted by Sandra of the SCHWOWIN'S Nest. She has budget-friendly home decor, looks for less, and trash to treasure. And it's also hosted by Lisa from Lisa and Company. She does design, reno, and lifestyle videos. Links to their channels as well as the challenge playlist are provided for you in the descriptions, so after this video, check them out. First things first is just cleaning up the pieces. I like using alcohol and a microfiber cloth. The one that was still intact, I had to remove the paper backing and the print and the glass. Yeah, I gotta get those staples out of the way. Now here I'm going to work on the broken one first. It needs the most love. So I'm just fitting the pieces together. I noticed there were a few little chunks missing. Wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be anything that would mess me up, and it wasn't. Just some hot glue, and it's fine. Making sure to get everything straight. And I'm using my electronic duster to cool the hot glue quicker. Once I got it together, I was checking to see if it was sturdy, and it still seemed a little wonky. So I added more glue. I mean, if it's on the back and it's not going to show anyway, why not? Glue it to it. Now I need a new backing, since I threw the old print in the trash when I was cleaning up last week. I don't know why, but anyway, no biggie. I'll create a new backing. I've got this binder that I'm going to cut it out of, in a nice bright red, nice Valentine color. And I just laid the print in the corner, so I only have 2 cuts to make. One across the top, one across the side. Now that I've got a new backing, I put it in the frame and more hot glue. Glued it in. There you go. Now I'm going to choose some printed paper, and I'm going to cut out a heart, and I'm off camera. Anyway, just flipping through the book, I chose one that has some squiggly lines and measured out about how big I wanted to make the heart. I folded it in half and cut it out. And made sure the size was right in the frame. Now here I'm just taking something to smooth out that crease a bit so it lays flatter and you don't see the crease so much anymore. Now I've got some embroidery thread and a needle. I tied a knot in the end and just made some simple stitches all around the edges. And I'm out of frame again. So sorry about that. Here you'll see on the back, you can see how I stitched it. I just took the needle when I was finished and pushed it through that knot that I made at the first. And then cut the excess string. Now I'm going to be putting this heart toward the bottom of the frame on an angle, like so. Mod Podge and a brush. Now I just dotted some of the Mod Podge all around the edge, and then I used the little brush to smooth it out and made sure all the edges were completely covered. I brushed the Mod Podge over the stitches and all the way to the edge. Then here I'm going inside the stitches just to get some of the excess Mod Podge out of my brush. And placed it on my backing. Let's smooth it out. Make sure you don't have any bubbling. And there's how that looks so far. Now I measured the empty space above the heart so I could create something with my Cricut and add it in. There we go. I used the font called Skinny, and you can get it free from dafont.com. I added a little bow and a button in the center, and that's how it looks. So in love. And that's sweet. I think it's cute. You know I gotta be punny. Now with the second frame, I've chose a different print. I couldn't get my word out. But it's coordinating. Now put that backing into the corner there because I'm going to cover the whole back of this print with Mod Podge and the paper after I find my rotary cutter. There it is. I'm going to cut down the side and cut across the bottom, under the arm. Not the easiest position to be in. And wouldn't you know it, it's ratty across the bottom. No biggie. I'll just take my scissors and smooth out that edge. I was showing you there that the flower on the print had little jewels in the center, so I had to glue it to the back so it would be smooth. Mod Podge and a foam brush. Squiggle it on there. And distribute it. Making sure to get the edges. I went one direction and then the other. And tapped out the excess that was in my brush all around the edges. Tappy, tappy, tappy. Now when I put the paper on, I kind of tacoed it a little bit and started from the center and then went out with it so it would be flat as possible, and then smoothed it from the center out. and put it back in the frame. Dealing with those staples are not fun. And I did have to get a screwdriver involved so I wouldn't tear my nails all to pieces. Some of those staples are terribly tough. Here we go, get it locked into place. Now I'm ready to put something else on this. And making sure there's no bubbles. And set that aside to dry. Now going through my old vintage button stash, I picked out different sizes and shades of red and white and pink. I cut out a heart from the remaining piece of that binder folder and glued it down in the center. Oh yeah, I put a ceramic tile under that so I could put pressure on it, and glued the buttons down. That's where the tile came in handy. Otherwise I might have pushed the backing all the way out and messed up the whole project. Now I outlined the heart and then just went from there in toward the center with all the different shapes and colors of buttons. And that's how that turned out. And I love it. When Valentine's is over, I'll probably hang this up in my craft room. And there are the two side by side. So in love. If you love this video, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching today.